Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Taryn, the traveling trainer with GoTarryn Personal Training here in the greater Atlanta area, about to welcome for the very first time on GoTarryn TV, Mr. Samuel Crenshaw. Now before Sam comes onto the show, I wanted to tell everyone out there, if you could please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GoTarryn, and while you're there, please make sure to like the video, leave us a comment, and share this video with all of your friends and family out there. Now just so you know, Samuel Crenshaw came out last month to Georgia State University to come guest speak along with Melissa Anthony at my fitness program management class, and he was just wonderful to meet. For those of you who don't know, Samuel Crenshaw is a sports reporter and TV sports anchor, and by the way, he's also an Emmy Award winner for Best Sports Performer, and I'm honored and thrilled to have him on here, right here on GoTarryn TV, and going to talk to him about his experiences with life growing up, how he got into this industry, what he's doing today in this field, and I guess kind of what motivates him, and we'll get to talking to him about that and much, much more here in just a few moments, and I can't wait to talk to Sam Crenshaw here on GoTarryn TV for all of you. And remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. Hello everyone, we're back, and as you can see side by side on the split side screen, we have for the very first time, also here in Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Samuel Crenshaw. Sam, how are you doing out there today?
Ron, how you doing this afternoon? Good to see you out in the sun. I'm inside. You're out in the sun.
I had to be outside on a beautiful day like this. It's perfect. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here. As folks know, obviously, Sam is a sports reporter, television sports anchor. Sam actually came out a couple weeks ago with colleague Melissa Anthony and did a wonderful job of special guest speaking at Georgia State University in our fitness program management class. So I couldn't wait to get you on here, Sam, and talk to you and get to know you a little bit more and ask you about, things like your life growing up, how you got into this kind of business. But I guess first and foremost, if you could tell us, I believe you're a Birmingham, Alabama native, if that's
Birmingham, Alabama native, and
yeah.
we were just talking a little bit about it on my radio show last weekend because we were celebrating the anniversary of. Well, I know we've been celebrating the MLK anniversary, but this past weekend was the anniversary of Hank Aaron hitting 715, and
That's right.
that was the time when my family moved from Birmingham to the Atlanta area in '74.
Okay.
And we watched him hit 715 in Birmingham. So we were loading up all our stuff onto the truck. We moved over here and unloaded everything in our new house in East Point. And after it was done, my dad said, "Hey, you want to go to a ball game?" And so 2 nights later, we're at old Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and we see Hank Aaron hit number 716 in front of about 6,000 people.
Oh, wow.
That's what the crowds were like for the Braves back in those years.
Oh, my God, that's
Uh,
incredible. How things have changed. Times have changed.
Things have really changed. The 90s, the 90s set things straight for the Braves team, and they're going to have a strong following. Although they're not the same, all those guys are retired, and Chipper Jones may be the end of the line. Andrew Jones may make it into the Hall of Fame too, but he goes into the Hall of Fame this year. And that decade, just kind of set the Braves into a different kind of orbit, a different level of expectations from what it was back then. Back then, it was just Hank Aaron and some guys. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
They weren't very competitive, but people wanted to go out and see him because every time he swung the bat, he was making history.
Oh, unbelievable. What a legend. Yeah, it must have been just unbelievable to see him in person and witness that firsthand. And Sam, when you ended up in Atlanta, I believe you're also a graduate of University of West Georgia.
Well, it was West Georgia College back in umpteen 30 days back when I was down there. It's University of West Georgia now, yeah, but
Yeah.
very proud of my school.
And you were also a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, if I'm not mistaken.
You always, and we had a lot of fun with that there, and still continue to be a part of it and participate with it, and have even more fun at this level, and run into some of guys who are in the fraternity at different chapters and other places who've gone and do things athletically, like Michael Jordan, like Shaquille O'Neal, and we all kind of have that bond, that thing in common. So it's good when we get a chance to see those guys.
Oh, yeah, certainly. And so, Sam, how did you, I guess chronologically through a timeline, how did you end up with being an announcer with WSB-FM then? If you could take us back.
Wow, at SBFM, I was just telling someone yesterday the story, and I never really turned down an opportunity to go and visit a school on a career day. And some people say, well, it's the same thing. You're going to go and tell kids about what you do. I go to those things and I flip the script. I want to hear about what they want to do. You know, as you're not going to ask me a question, I'm going to ask you, well, what is it that you're dreaming of? You ought to be dreaming of something. You may not be completely sure what you want to do. And I them to tell me things that they want to do or what they're interested in. But someone came to my school down in East Point, Headland High School in East Point, from WSB on a career day, and I felt comfortable asking them a question. I hadn't seen anyone that looked like me doing sports on TV, reporting, but I had like me out at the ballpark working cameras during the Braves games and Falcons games. And so I said, this would be a cool gig. I get to get in the games for free and I get paid, and who knows, I might get to meet a cheerleader and get some phone numbers. So that was my ulterior motive to get into this business, was meeting cheerleaders on sidelines, right? He told me what I needed to do, and I raised my hand and asked the question again. I said, do you guys give tours of your station? And he's probably figuring I've been to a bunch of these career days. Kids always ask me, I say, yeah, here's my phone number, call me. I called him the next day. And, it was around this time of year, I'll never forget, in my senior year in high school, I lined up a chance. He lined me up to go up and visit the station and go on a tour. Okay. And I thought I was going to go on a tour with a big group of people, but no, it was just me and the personnel director, which today we call HR. Oh, wow. I'm not just going on a tour with a bunch of little old ladies with blue hair. I'm going on a tour of this station with the person that does the hiring, I'm like, whoa, that's not what I was expecting. SB at the time was 2 radio stations and a TV station. Today it is 4 radio stations and a TV station, all in one place, same location. Wow. White columns there on Peachtree Street. Back then it looked like this antebellum home. Now it looks like a spaceship. And so, it was an awesome place to go and visit. My eyes were this big because it's something I was curious about and interested in. I was seeing all these awards they had won, and studios, TV studios, radio studios, meeting the reporters and meeting the camera guys. And before I left, they said, where you're going to college. You're going to college at West Georgia this fall. Sometimes we have openings for part-time openings for college students. Would you like to fill out an application? No joke. This is how it happened. Wow. And I often wondered, what if I had said, no thanks. I just came to see the place. It's not what I came for. Or what if I had filled it out incorrectly, put my name where my address is supposed to go. And I've often wondered about that years later. I filled the application and I left that day because I had to get the south side of town. I was in the move. This is like tennis season right now for high school. So I played on my high school tennis team. I said, I got to get back. I got to play a match. And I forgot all about it. Wow. I enrolled in West Georgia in September. And by November of my freshman year, my mom calls me in my dorm. I answer the phone. She says, you got a phone call today from the people from the station. And I'm like, what station? Fire station? Bus station? Because I'd forgotten about filling out the application. And she said, no, the people from the radio station call. And I think they want to know if you can come in and work with them on weekends. And I'm like, is this going to be a job? They're going to pay me? And sure enough, it was. It wasn't volunteering. It was an actual job. And so for 4 years, and I was in college on the weekends. I missed a lot of parties and missed a lot of some fun, and frivolity. But I had a chance to get a step up on what I was trying to do in the direction I was looking to take. So that was a wonderful time. The time I got to spend at West Georgia, the things I learned there, going along with just the hands-on experience and just being in the environment of a place like WSB every weekend was priceless to me.
That's amazing. And then after with being with WSB, how long were you there for with them, Sam?
I was there all 4 years of college.
All 4 years.
All 4 years of college. So when I finished in '81, I finished then. I got my first job at a TV station in Columbus, Georgia, as a camera guy, as a news photographer. Okay. Everybody said, get ready to move and get your first opportunity. You're probably gonna have to move away. I said, okay, let's get on with it. And so to Columbus we went. And wouldn't you know it, I'm there working at WRBL, CBS affiliate, and the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl takes place in Phoenix City. West Georgia started football my senior year. And me and some of my friends all said, man, it'd be fun to go out there and be the 12th man. Just go out there and be the 12th man, it'd be fun. And my parents appealed to me, says, what are you more likely to get a job doing? And since I was at the radio station, I said, okay, so we're not going to go out there and be the 12th man. So here's the football program, the second year of an existence of football at West Georgia. And here they are playing for the D3 championship in Phoenix City, Alabama. And I'm on the sideline as a very young alum. And I'm there covering my school, winning a national championship.
Oh my
It's
God.
one of the coolest experiences. Yeah, man. To be there on the sideline, you know, my boys up in the stands. Hey, man, put me on TV. No, dude, I'm working down here. But the coolest thing, you're there and your school is winning the national championship, and you're there to help document it. It's a priceless moment.
Wow, wow. And then from there, Sam, is that after that you went to work at WXIA TV with 11 Alive?
No, gosh, I had a number of stops before then. I left there. Matter of fact, I wanted to get my first on-air opportunity, and it came in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, of all places.
Oh,
I was only in Columbus for about 5 to 6 months.
Okay.
And they had some sports openings there, and they just flat out wouldn't consider me for them. And they kind of said, well, you're not ready for us. And I kind of figured more like you weren't ready for me. And so the folks in Harrisburg were saying, come on up. And I'd never been north in the wintertime in my life. I said, you know, if it's past Labor Day and you don't see me up north, unless somebody dies, you won't see me until the spring, because I had no desire to go up in the snow. And sure enough, on my flight up to visit, we had a layover in Washington, D.C., and I looked out on the runway, and there was one guy all alone with a shovel. I said, that's going to be me. That's going to be me. I'm going to be somewhere all alone shoveling snow. I've never done it before. And then I flew into Harrisburg, and there was no snow anywhere. They reminded me that we're in the valley, you know, we're in the Susquehanna Valley. When the snow comes to Pennsylvania, it dumps on Pittsburgh. We get a few sprinkles here, and it dumps on Philadelphia. I said, okay, I'm sold. I get there, and Valentine's weekend, they get 24 inches in 24 hours. They came out of the south end. So, the Susquehanna River. And like I said, you guys saved this just for me, right? But I got to deal with a harsh reality of the business. And maybe it's not just this business, business. I'm there for about 5 months, and everybody has a philosophical change. They decided they don't want to have a weekend newscast anymore. And so everybody that was on the weekend newscast got a letter, and we were done. And I was faced with the decision: do I tough it out at a place where I don't know a whole lot of people? Do I come back to familiar turf, rebuild, and make the most I did? The thing I can say I got out of Harrisburg is I wanted to do the. I found out I could do the job. So if I had to do it again, even though it ended the way it did, I would, because I needed to go and find out if I could, and so I did. I found out. I came back home. I didn't have enough experience to really go to another market and knock on the door and say, hey, I want this particular job, because I'd only been there about 5 months.
Right.
But I come back here and I get behind the scenes at WAGA, which is now Fox 5.
Okay.
And, got a chance to be around a lot of cool people. Jeff Hullinger, who is now at 11 Alive, was there, sports anchor. Bill Hartman was there. And those guys really took good care of me. They knew what I wanted to do. They would send me out and put me in situations where I could, seek out the right people, ask the right questions. So I got a chance to go and work in Augusta. And worked in Augusta for 5.5 years. Went from there to Greensboro, North Carolina. Worked there for 7.5 years before I came back to 11 Alive, just in time for the Falcons to go to the Super Bowl the first time in '98.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So, it felt so strange to say Falcons in Super Bowl. Because the Falcons, they never had back-to-back winning seasons. I mean, that's through years. That's reality. Back-to-back winning seasons. And I had to say that to be in Minnesota and watch Morton Anderson make that field goal in overtime, and to charge out on the field and be in the middle of that, It was just amazing having grown up watching for years. And so to do that and see them make it to the Super Bowl the first time was just remarkable to be there and cover that.
Yeah, and then they, of course, recently, a couple years ago, they would go to the Super Bowl again. We don't have to talk about that though today. I know that's a sore subject, probably.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We kind of expected it from that team. Really weren't expecting it the first time. It was by surprise. I think we're expecting them more for that team to get there. And after the first half, we expected to win it. And that's the thing that still has a bitter taste in our mouths. Hopefully we can get it done. I tell you what, it's neat to have teams in our town being mentioned in the championship conversation. Because for many years, Atlanta teams were never mentioned in the championship conversation. The Falcons this upcoming season, for the third straight year, will be in the championship conversation. And I think that's impressive. I know we want them to win it, and we get mad. And Matt Ryan's got this big contract coming up soon. He's going to need it. He's got 2 mouths to feed as of last week. Congratulations to he and his wife. They got twins. But, we got a nucleus in place to get us back there. We just have to make decisions. We got to get the person in place, the timing, and execute and make good decisions. And that's part on the players. That's part on the folks in the sideline. That's part on the folks up in the booth with the coaches doing the coordinating and calling.
And, Sam, kind of changing gears for a second off that tangent, because you mentioned about Atlanta sports, and I remember when you came to guest speak last month, you told the students a little bit about the Atlanta United, the soccer team, and how you were kind of impressed with seeing the audience as a diverse, true melting pot of a diverse, Atlanta kind of. That's what I think. Not to quote you or verbatim, but I think you said something to the effect of, that to you looks like Atlanta now. What can you maybe expand on that a little bit for the folks as far as the Atlanta United soccer?
Who's that?
When you came to see...
Oh, man, Atlanta, I talk about the championship conversation.
Yeah.
We were in the championship conversation fresh out of the box last year.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
also that, I think it surprised people here, and it surprised people nationally, because we didn't think that people would respond to soccer the way that they have here, even if the team was a good team.
Right.
And it was one of the most pleasant surprises I've ever had a chance to cover and document, is the way this team has been received in this community. If you want to see the entire community of Atlanta, if you want to see the makeup of everything that lives here, from all cross sections, go to Atlanta United. Go to Atlanta United, and you will really see, the diversity and just the beauty of where we live and the people who live here. And this sport has brought everyone together in this team. So it's fun to go to. I enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome at Georgia Tech last year. It was an awesome experience at Georgia Tech. To play that under the lights with the skyscrapers up in the background. I mean, that was like awesome. Awesome setting. You're over there at nighttime, you're watching the match, and you look up and see the skyscrapers all lit up in the background. It was just, incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And I wondered, could they take that over to the new building, or with the new building kind of, there's such a great atmosphere over there, but sure enough, they were able to transfer it and take it right over to Mercedes-Benz, and it's quite a home field advantage for them. The crowd gets loud, the record breaking. And the thing that I guess, because a lot of people know that football is number one, and football will always be number one in this area. People are so fanatical over it, especially now that you have Georgia national contender for college, and Falcons a football championship contender. So, I mean, football has never been at a higher fever pitch than it is in this area right now. But just consider, on one weekend last fall, you had Atlanta United. You had Georgia playing the game in the afternoon, Atlanta United playing that later that day, I think, or Georgia may have played that night, and Atlanta United played that day, and both were sold out. And the next day, the Falcons played.
Wow.
Those people in this week, because football. And I know a lot of people, think that if it's not football, people won't. It's wrong. And it made me really proud of what we do. Doing something else, plays well and does
great for them. Our team did both. There are probably some people who went to the Georgia game or went to the Falcons game on Sunday. They probably went to. So I mean, I think it's great to see that we don't have to be just this one thing that people think we should or have to be.
No, that's great, Sam. And in terms of right now, like currently, you tell us please about it. But what I didn't know when I first met you is your work with Georgia State University, and working with them with the Panthers. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What you do with the sportscasting with Georgia State?
Wow, I'm fortunate and really happy that I had a chance to be invited to be a part when they first started football. It's been 8 years now, and they invited me to be a part of the radio crew, and I was like, "This is great. It's something new." And Bill Curry was a part of it. It was someone else. Where you are now, you're going to hear from Andrew Young later on today.
That's right.
He and Bill Curry are kind of the same. And I introduced Coach Curry once. I said, "There are two men in the city that if I had a chance to be around, I'd shut up and listen." And one of them is Ambassador Andrew Young. The other one is Coach Bill Curry. Because of their lives and because of where their lives have taken them, and the stories that they tell about it are just intriguing. And Bill Curry is one of those people. I was glad that he was the first coach for Georgia State. When you look up integrity, in the dictionary, I think he's there. So I was happy about that, and it was something new. And just the way it's gone, I mean, now on the coach over there, just some growing pains and getting solidified with what caliber of team they want to have and what conference they want to be in. They found a home with Sunbelt. It's a pretty tough football league when you consider Georgia Southern's in there, and Georgia Southern came in and Appalachian State came in just before them. In 8 years of playing football, Georgia Southern now has a 3-game winning streak over Georgia Southern. Who saw that coming?
No.
That they would beat those guys, have a 3-game winning streak over Georgia Southern. So just impressed with the way that's going. And it's been 3 years ago now, I was asked, I said, "What are you doing?" And then, I wanted to, after doing the 6 o'clock news for so many years, I wanted to do something different, broadcast, a different challenge, and play-by-play is something I've always been curious about doing. I love the spontaneity of the live sports broadcast, the things the unpredictable things that take place, and being able to relay that to people both on radio and TV. It's a different kind of challenge. And so they said, "Look, we're going to start producing the games for ESPN3, men's and women's home games. Will your schedule allow you to do them?" I said, "Absolutely. You let me know." And so for the last 3 seasons, just finished my 3rd season doing play-by-play for Georgia State men's and women's basketball on ESPN3. And, of course, the basketball team won the conference championship, went to March Madness, went to the NCAA tournament again. So it's fun times at Georgia State, what they're doing with the athletics. Taking over what was Turner Field for football. They're going to put a baseball stadium on the same footprint as old Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and there's going to be a new arena for basketball that is going to be built over in that same area.
I did not know that.
So,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a time right across from the hotel that's there on Hank Aaron Drive, Georgia. That hotel is going to right across the street from it. A new arena is going to go there. So I think it's exciting times to be around Georgia State and be around Georgia State athletics. 50,000 students. The school is buying up downtown Atlanta.
They really are.
Vacant in downtown. And I tell people all the time when they say, "Well, where's Georgia State?" I said, "You've been to downtown Atlanta? You're from downtown campus. I didn't know it." And so it's just an awesome time to be a part of what's happening at Georgia State.
Yeah, that's tremendous. And with everything else you're doing, Sam, you keep such a busy schedule. Can you tell us about the weekend morning that you do on Intercom Radio Sports 92.9 The Game?
92.9 The Game. I've been doing for years now. I've been up for 5 years at the station. And, they invited me to come and be a part of what they were doing when they were in its infancy. And so I was glad to be a part of that in the beginning. And it's fun. It's weekend mornings, a different kind of show. And I like being able to do a different kind of show. I think during the week you talk about a lot of what ifs, what could happen possibly. And on the weekends, the games are played.
And, so I think that's the fun thing. On Saturday, you build up what's happening, and Sunday you can react to those things. Or Sunday's game day for the NFL, and so many elements you talk about now that you come to, other than just the game. Is it fantasy football? People want to hear about that is so big and huge. So we have a guy on the show that talks about those type things. Esports is big. It's a growing thing right now. So we're a little ahead of the curve as far as anybody else on the station. We do a segment for that every Sunday morning. We have a guy who follows the esports scene closely, and that's only going to get bigger. And I'm trying to keep up with it, and it's growing so fast. Georgia State, by the way, has an esports team where kids can get scholarships. You qualify for Hope, you get $1,000 scholarship for playing video game. I never heard about doing that. Help you pay for your college. There are some colleges that are giving full ride scholarships.
Wow.
to esports, and so it's amazing. Atlanta's one of the hubs of it with having E-League. That's pretty nice. It's in a studio right beside the one with Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. They're talking basketball, and next door you got these playing this video game. They got a play-by-play. So they do a pre-game show, and they do everything just like it would for a basketball game or football game, except this guy's playing Counter-Strike or playing Street Fighter. Those are the games that they played over there. 6 figures, playing this. It's in the coming year, Georgia High School Association. We'll see, where that goes. Just something new. I just hang out on it, just see if I can grasp it and keep up with it. So what's this older doing around this? Hey, man, I want to know what's happening. So that's that's the direction that things are going.
That's terrific, Sam. And a couple other notes, too, I wanted to mention real quick to you, too, Sam. We have to give a shout-out to our mutual friend, Melissa Anthony. You came out and guest spoke with her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How did you meet Melissa and work with her, and what's your impression of her? If she's watching right now, Melissa.
Oh, my goodness. She's all over the place. It's hard to keep up. You don't have a big enough sheet of fly paper to track down Melissa. She's all over the place. Well, we both play tennis, and she loves tennis, and she invited me out to an event that was a fundraiser and a charity tennis event for a cause, and I went out to it, and we kind of hit it off. I said, she told me where she lived. We don't live that far apart. I said, well, sure. You guys got a tennis team, so come over and play tennis. Her place, sometimes, and they got a pretty good group that she plays with. So I like going over and playing tennis, and we talked about some things. She really feels the need to bring about something that can help women understand sports, better. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad she's saying that, not me. But I mean, that's the thing. You want to go to events, you want to take your significant other with you and whatnot, so they can see it and get into it and hope they enjoy it. And I think she was going to a lot of events where guys would react and cheer for something, and the girls were like saying, well, what just happened? Why are they cheering? What did they just do? And so that's why it's called What Just Happened Sports. And so we've gotten together and put together some pretty nice events, draft night events where we had some actual former NFL players in the area come out and explain the draft and what goes into it, because a lot of people wonder why people get so excited about people calling a guy's name and a guy going to take a picture with the commission. What's the big deal? Well, here's the big deal. And this is what the person had to do to get ready for it. So you just explain some things like that. It goes to our most recent event where we get able to get some ladies on the field over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium to actually work out with some football players, which is like a amazing thing for people who don't know. You can go on tours of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Part of it is they'll get you down on the field. So you go on a tour, take your football with you. You can go and get up and down the field a little bit there. Then you're out there on Sunday. But that's a fun thing we're able to do through that. To do some other things. We want to do Atlanta United as well. People come out and enjoy that experience. We got like lacrosse teams in the area. Get ladies out to see that, understand it. As more kids participate in that sport, they need to know about it. And the kid comes home and say, hey, I want to be this, because lacrosse is growing growing rapidly in our area. So just things like that, we'd love to do that. That's kind of fun.
That's terrific, Sam. So yeah, both you and Melissa, I mean, you guys got so much going on. That's a wonderful thing there. And Sam, this time has just flown by so quickly here. If I can ask you a few more things, it really has. 30 minutes already. This is so fast. You're very well spoken. I did want to ask you if you could tell the folks out there, because I really took this away really good when you came out to speak at the class on your topic of champions and cheerleaders. Can you tell the folks out there a little bit about? I really love that for myself. But
you made me think about that, and I wrote a blog about it after you talked about it because it's nothing I never really thought about. And I think cheerleaders and champions are people that we all encounter in whatever our walk is, wherever we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And when we let people know what we want to do or what we're striving to do, there will be cheerleaders and champions. The cheerleaders, I think, are the people that you meet and say, "Hey, I like that idea. That's pretty good. Well, good luck with that." Pat you on the back or something, and they mean well, and that's nice. That's important too. But to me, your champions are the people who take a moment and take some time, and send you in a direction, or give you extra word of encouragement, or actually dial you into and share their network with you. Some people did that for me. I never thank them. When people really sit down and think, they have cheerleaders and have champions in their lives. They may not have thought about them that way, but you have people there, and you may have taken advantage of what they offered you or what the advice they gave you, the example. But I just think those champions are people that you hold on to. That champion's going to go the extra mile. That champion's going to do what Monica Kaufman Pearson did for me years ago when I was working at WSB. She was the anchor, and I told her what I wanted to do, and she says, "Hey, come here, you sit down by my desk, and we're going to call some people, and we're going to tell some people what it is you want to try to do. We'll put you on the phone with some people in Savannah, in Augusta, in Montgomery, Alabama." And she didn't have to do that, but she tapped into her personal network and shared with me. And so that's, to me, that's what the champions do. You remember who your people are, who are going to go forward and make a call for you, or even go with you to go and visit someone to help you get the best opportunity for success in whatever it is that you're doing. So to me, those are the cheerleaders and champions. So yeah, you really made me think about it after I left that day. I said, is there something else there? And we'll see. We'll think about it.
Yeah, that's great, Sam. I like that. That's good stuff. Well, you are a true champion yourself there, so keep doing everything that you're doing and keep it up. I'm impressed. Well, again, Sam, I gotta say I really appreciate you coming on here and doing this with us. Before we let you go, if it's possible, could we please get some contact information from you or anything you want to plug, your website? Now's the time. Please go ahead and tell the folks if they're watching they can get a hold of you. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
All right. My goodness, so many things. And I want to give a shout out to the people at ATL 26 City Channel down at City Hall. I do some reporting and correspondence for as well. I don't want them upset with me. But interesting things are happening in City Hall or downtown. But I got a website. I usually put the blog on there, some of the stories that I do for City Channel when they put on that way, or anyone that I am. That's also to contact me. I can buy a page and there. I've also started a page several years ago called Peach State College Sports. That is for college students who are interested in being sports reporters, just like following up sports, and they want a place to put their material. They can do a blog or photos or video or podcast. Talking with some 2 weeks setting up next fall. So I'm going to have a pretty next fall setting at it. Something else, take a look at sports.com.
Great. Good, Sam. Well, this is terrific. Again, I really appreciate your time, and this has just been so much fun. And let's definitely have you back on here soon when you're available next month and do another one of these together, because you're just a really great guy, and love to also have you come back and guest speak at Georgia State too if you're available as well.
I have to come by and let you work me out sometime, Taryn. I understand you guys got a pretty good workout that you do.
There you go. I like it. That's a fair trade. I like that. That's a good idea. Let's hit the student rec center. Go hit some weights there.
All right,
Sam. Well, listen. Thank you again. You enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. And for the folks watching, here comes Sam Crenshaw's contact information, websites that he just gave you right now as we fade to black. We will see you, Sam. Have a great day.
All right, take care. Can't wait till next time.
Yes, sir.